Penny and I headed up to the Lake District to bag our first wainwright, one of 214 fells in the Lake District, usually over 1,000 feet high. The campsite we stayed at was Windfell Horn Farm, near Buttermere in the northwest of the Lake District. It's a basic site in a beautiful setting, within walking distance of a pub and a local shop. The pitches are all grass and not all have hookup. That evening, we headed out to Buttermere alongside Grasmoor for a pint and a meal at the Bridge Hotel, one of 2 pubs in the village. It's a picturesque place with a working farm in the middle of the village. The next day we prepared our hiking gear and headed out on a walk to head up our first wainwright, known as Red Pike. We set off from Loweswater village and headed out towards the western side of Grasmoor. You soon leave the quiet roads and join the footpath by the 2.5 mile long lake. Numerous becks or streams feed the lake, including Scale Force, which was on our route. It's a quick walk to reach the area between Grasmoor and Buttermere. There you cross the bridge at Sourmilk Gill. You can walk over to the village or head up into the fells. We headed uphill towards Red Pike, our first wainwright. It's a steep climb away from Buttermere. We stopped for lunch on the way up. After lunch it started to rain and the steep climb continued. Right, this is what we're walking up. It's steep but steady and zigzagging the way up the hill. So it's pretty wet now. The drizzle's coming down quite heavily now. The rain got heavier as we got higher. As we reached Bleabury Tarn, the rain stopped however. It's a steady climb to Red Pike, but it's hard going near the summit, and it was windy and cloud covered on top. As we dropped off the summit, the cloud cleared to reveal great views of Grasmoor. Next we came off Red Pike and headed over rough ground towards Scale Force. The beck has some small waterfalls in it and the path is steep in places. The cloud cleared enough for us to be able to see the summit of Grasmoor, another wainwright we planned to climb. After a pint in the pub in Loweswater, we got back to the base camp for a cuppa and a meal that night. We'd walked 11.5 miles that day. Life in the base camp is comfortable, but you still need to keep organised. We usually dry our towels and wet gear in the washroom. We store food in the cupboards above the kitchen. The base camp has 3 foldable bags for clothes, 2 on the near side and 1 on the off side. There's a small shelf on the off side where we keep books, maps and binoculars. And there's a small shelf on the front of each side. Wi-Fi is useful to have when on site. We use a 4G dongle for mobile Wi-Fi. However, to get a better mobile data signal, we use a Kuma mobile Wi-Fi kit, which makes a big difference with the signal strength we get. It's easy to use and fit. The kit costs around £170. To buy one, see the links in the description. The following day, we made for the coast at St Bede's for a short walk. It's the start of the popular 182-mile coast-to-coast walk, which finishes in Robin Hood's Bay. It's a nice spot and good for seeing bird life. That afternoon, we walked from Loweswater village on the circular route around the lake. The 5.5 mile route starts gently through National Trust land and then heads up into the hills around Loweswater. It's a quiet area and you may see red squirrels en route. The footpath is easy to follow. On a good day, you get good views towards Grasmoor. It's a little rocky in places, and the view over Loweswater is wonderful. You soon descend from here and head towards the lakeside. And it's a picturesque walk past the lake back to the starting point. We walked 9 miles that day, and it was back to the base camp for dinner and a good rest. For our last full day, we decided to climb Grasmoor, which is 2,795 feet or 852 metres above sea level. We drove to a car park at the foot of the mountain for the 8-mile route. And started to climb up the ridge known as Lad House. It's steep most of the way up, but the views are great. We could see the ridge we'd come down later on, which is Red Pike. The route gets steeper and rockier as you ascend. And you need to scramble in places. As we near the top, however, cloud covered the summit. Fortunately, as we got to the summit of Grasmoor, the cloud lifted and we could see the Solway Firth in Scotland and over to Scafell Pike. Next, we headed along to climb more Wainwrights called Crag Hill and Wandope. The views across the Lake District are spectacular from here. We soon hiked down Whiteless Park towards Ranadale, following Squat Beck. It's a glorious view either side of you on the ridge. Ranadale is famous for its bluebells. Legend has it that the flowers bloom as a result of the blood of slain Norman invaders ambushed by Britons over 900 years ago. Then it was back to the campsite for a shower, a beer in the evening sunshine and a meal in the nearby pub. Cheers. The Lake District is a stunning region and perfect for anyone who loves the outdoors. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.